Hello everyone, welcome to the Module 6 Seaborn. In this lecture, we are going to study about Seaborn. So let's explore all the things with the help of Jupyter. Today we are going to study about Seaborn and how we will be using these things or the tools available in Seaborn for the data analysis purpose. Mainly it is used for the visualization of data. In the world of analytics, the best way to get insight is by visualizing the data. Data can be visualized by representing it as plot or any other image format, means image processing thing, means you can plot graphs or you may also give it a tabular structure, something like that. Then it will be easy to understand, explore and grasp. All right. So such data helps in drawing the attention of key elements. To analyze a set of data using Python, we make use of, generally we are going for the matplotlib, which one is actually a 2D plotting library. Seaborn is also a visualization library in Python and it is built over matplotlib. Mainly the Seaborn will give the colorful structure to the matplotlib functions. Alright, so let's quickly cover up about Seaborn versus matplotlib. Actually, matplotlib tries to make easy things easy and hard things possible. Matplotlib tries to make easy things easy. Like if you are plotting a bar graph, it will give you the attention to plot the bar graph easily. And hard things, like if you are going for preparing a data frame or something like that, hard thing possible, means you can plot anything in the matplotlib. While Seaborn tries to make a well-defined set of hard things easy to, means Seaborn will try to compact all the complexity and give you the understanding or the tools to make it easy. All right, well defined set of hard things easy to. Okay, so what actually Seaborn do is mainly built-in themes for styling matplotlib graphics, visualizing univariate and bivariate data, means it will make your data colorful so that you can understand the things easily. Okay, and it will be fitting in visualizing linear regression models. Regression model you will get to learn when you are going for the machine learning thing, and it will help you in plotting a statistical time series data. Seaborn works well with the NumPy and Pandas data structure. So let's quickly set up the environment for the Seaborn. So what we have to do, pip install Seaborn. It will make your system comfortable with Seaborn and the library in your system. Okay, and Seaborn is dependent upon Python 3, NumPy, SciPy, and Pandas as well as Matplotlib. So we have already covered NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. So it will be easy to work on the Seaborn dataset. All right. So after installing the Seaborn, you can import the dataset and libraries. For importing libraries, what you have to do? You have to import 3 libraries. See, this one is displaying that requirement already satisfied because I have already installed this thing. If you have not installed this, it will be get installed to your system. All right. Now I am going to show you how to import all the things which will be required in this lecture. So import pandas as PD. We need pandas library, as well as import numpy as np. And the third thing which we need to import is from matplotlib import pyplot as plt, and then in the last import the main library on which we are going to work today. So that one is Seaborn. So import Seaborn as sb. Okay, after importing all these library, we are going to work on the dataset. So what we have to do, we have to first load the dataset. Okay, so let's import first the data set. So I'm going to import a data set whose name is tips. Okay, so for that what we have to do, sb dot load data set. This will load the data set and pass the name of that data set. So I'm passing here tips. All right. So when you are going to print df, you will be getting the value of the data set. So this one is the 244 rows and 7 columns data set named tips. All right. So for printing the head, what we have to do? df dot head. So this one is the first top 5 rows of the data set. Okay. So we have loaded the data set. Now if you want to know the all the data set names available in Seaborn, so what you have to do? sb dot get underscore data set underscore names and put a parenthesis, and then you will be getting all the dataset names. All right, this one is displaying a warning, but don't worry about that. You will be getting the dataset in few moments. This one is due to the some system issues because I have already installed so many softwares in my system. That's why it's getting confused with the things. So don't worry about that. It will display you the dataset name. All right. Now see here, it has displayed you all the dataset names available in Seaborn. So these are the dataset names. Okay, you can call any dataset for your work. Now Seaborn figure aesthetics. Visualizing data is one step, and further making the visualized data more pleasing in another step. Means you can visualize the data easily, but making it attractive, you have to go for the further visualization processes. All right. Visualization play a vital role in communicating quantitative insights to an audience to catch their attention. Aesthetic means a set of principles concerned with the nature and appreciation of beauty. Means mainly we are going to cover about how to make the things beautiful. Means if we are plotting a graph, make it meaningful as well as beautiful, so that user can understand the data easily. Means all the insights easily. If you are plotting a bar graph and if you forget to mention the things like x-axis and y-axis, and you have plotted three different data sets in a single graph and you have used a single color, then it might be difficult for a user which actually do not have knowledge in bar graph or something like that. Then it will be some difficult for them. So we are going to learn how to make the data meaningful and set the themes so that anyone can understand it easily. All right, so let's start. Import numpy as np. So I'm going to use a numpy array. That's why I have imported that thing. Now from matplotlib, import pyplot as plt. We have already called, so there is no need. Now definition sign plot. I'm creating a function and I'm setting flip as a value. Means you can set anything value for the flip. Okay, so we will getting the flip value from the user and I will be displaying the things to the user. All right, so lean a space and just I am taking 0 to 20 and taking 100 different things. All right, now for I in range, I in range 0 to 5, so 1 to 5, take from 1 to 5 and then plt dot plot. I'm going to plot 5 different graphs, all right, of sine curve, so that we can show you how to make the graph colorful. Sin x plus I multiplied with 0.5 and then whole multiplied with 7 minus I. Actually I am taking equation, so don't worry about this thing, you can use anything. Okay, so I am taking here flip, put it in a bracket so that it can be understood easily. Now I am passing here flip. Actually this will change the value of the whole function again and again, and it will help you in plotting 5 different graphs of sine. Okay, starting from different y-axis. Okay, so I'm plotting sine plot, and before plotting sine plot, I'm again using a definition function called main, and here we will be taking out the input from the user. So flip is equal to take integer input, so integer, and I am asking for the input, put the flip value. Actually, I am trying to make the things interactive with the user so that anyone can change the graph by changing the flip value. Alright, now what we have to do, we have to call the sine plot function. So we will be calling the sine plot function and just pass the flip value. Now we have missed one thing, that one is plt.show. This one is the syntax which will display the graph. Alright, sine graph. Now call the main function. So I have called the main function. So when we will call the main function, it will ask for the input. I'm putting it here 1, and we will get the graph like this. This one is a matplotlib graph. Now I will show you how to make it attractive with the help of, and meaningful with the help of Seaborn. This one is a normal matplotlib graph. Alright, nothing else. So you can also change the value of 1 to 2. So see here, if you will change the value to 2, the graph will change according to that. You can see this thing. You can take a larger value like 5, and you will get the graph is getting more stiffer. Alright, so now I am going to show you how to make it meaningful, means colorful as well as meaningful with the help of Seaborn libraries. Alright, so what you have to do, you have to make a change, and so copy the whole thing from here so that you can see the difference, and I am copying the data from here and putting it in another cell. Alright, and I am going to show you what you have to make the changes here. Okay, so just you have to make a change. That one is, before showing the sine plot, you have to use the sv.set. What you have to use? Sv.set. Syntax sv.set, which will actually set the things before getting plotted, and the graph will be shown you like this. If you will pass 5, you will be getting the things like this one is showing similar, quite similar. So use this thing before calling the sine plot. So control plus X and then use here and go for the things. So when you are going to run this cell, you will be getting like this. Okay, this one was the main motto to show you. This has actually converted the background of your graph into a grid so that you can visualize the things. Like, see, you can get the x-axis and y-axis lines beside the graph so that you can understand all these things easily. Okay, and you can figure out the styles with like some values, means some attribute, like those attributes are, that one is, first one is dark grid. You can make the grid dark, so you have to use dark grid. For that I have mistaken the line, dark grid. And if you want it to white grid, you can use white grid. If you want it in dark, then you can use dark. If you want it in white, you can use white. I am not going to show all the things. I will show you 1 or 2 things, and other things you will have to practice by yourself. Otherwise the video length will be a huge length video, and it will be hectic for you to cover all these things. Okay, so what we have to do, just I am going to show you in the previous graph, or just copy this thing. Okay, otherwise you will be also doing the same as I will, and you will not understand the things easily. All right, so what we have to do, at the place of sv.set, use sv.set as styles. Okay, and just write here dark grid, and see the changes. Okay, this one is showing the error. What is the error? Set a style is not a, sorry, I have used s there. We have to use set a style. I have used the set a styles. That's why I have got the error. Okay, this one is for the dark grid. If you will use dark, then you will be getting like this. See, there is not any grid, only dark background behind the graph. All right. If we will use white, then it will not display any grid and just a white background behind the graph. Okay. So see here, this one is the, if you have plotted it with the help of just matplotlib, it's similar through that. All right. So these are the changes you can make, and you can also put ticks. See, so you are going to get the graph like this. Okay. Actually, ticks will be shown in those graph where it will like line graph and other things. All right. So now I am going to show you how to remove axes. If you want to remove the axis, like I want only x-axis, y-axis, right? I want to remove the axis from the top one and the right side. So what we have to do? Just use here. I'm going to show you where to use. Just call here and set like sb dot dspine. Okay, so this will remove the top one and the right side. Okay, it has not bugged actually. So what you have to do, you have to put it from here, cut it from here, and just put before the plt dot show. Okay, so before displaying the graph, it will remove out the upper side axis as well as the right side axis. See here, this one has removed the upper axis as well as the axis in the right side. All right, so this one is looking cool. Actually, this one is looking like a graph. This one was looking like you have plotted in a box. See here, okay, and this one is looking like you have plotted a graph. Okay, so in this manner you can set the axis. You can also set the axis styles like axis below, axis edge color, face color, grid, label color, line width, face color, family, font family, sans serif. Means I will be giving you a photo. I want to show you the photo of all the things. So you want to set all the things. So see here, sb dot axis is underscore style. These are the things which you can style in the axis. So here is the thing, you can set all these things by your own. You can change all these things. All right, this much attributes you can set with the help of axis style. Okay, now I am going to show you how to use this set styles attributes. All right, so just do like this, def sign plot, and just here put flip is equal to 1. Okay, now I am not taking anything here. Okay, so x is equal to np dot lean space and take 0 to 20 and put it here 100, and now for I in range 1 to 3, I am taking just 3 graphs here. Okay, so plt dot plot and just use x comma np dot sign and use it like x plus I and then multiply it with 0.5 and put multiplied with 7 plus, you can put it like 4 minus I and then use here flip. Okay, so this one is our equation for plotting the graph. Now just you have to do is sb dot set a style, and I'm setting it to dark grid. Okay, and I am using axis dot axis below. I want axis below as false value, so I'm setting it here false and put a quotation marks here. Okay, so this is our styled equation, means or syntax for the styling the graph. Alright, now use sign plot. Now when I want also dspine, means the top and the right axis not to be displayed, and now use plt dot show. Then you will be getting the graph in this manner. Now you can see the below axis is now not present. Okay, if you will set it to true, see the difference. True. So you will set true, this one will be showing you like this. Okay, see the difference. Set it to false and minutely observe the difference. All right, otherwise you will not get the things. See here you can see the graph has crossed the line and the line has been breaked. Okay, but when you will use true here, the line will be solid one, not a break line. See here. Okay, so this is the change you can observe here. All right, now I will show you how to make or build a color palette in Seaborn. All right, so Seaborn provides a function called color palette which can be used to give colors to the plot and adding more aesthetic value to it. All right, so let's see how to add this thing. Color palette has to use syntax like this: Seaborn dot color palette, and then you have to write here palette is equal to none and n underscore colors is equal to none, and then desat means desaturation is equal to none. All right, so these are the parameters you have to use in the color palette function. All right, so n colors is actually nothing but number of colors in the palette. If none, the default value will append on how much palette is specified. By default, the number of n color is 6. All right, desat is proportion to desaturate each color. Now return refers to a list of RGB tuples values are the readily available Seaborn palette. That one is deep, muted, bright, pastel, dark, and colorblind. And color palette types can use qualitative, sequential, and diverging. All right. So let's see all the things one by one. So I am going to show you current. Let's see HSR is equal to SB dot color underscore palette function, and now write here SB dot pal plot and plot the current palette. This will actually plot your color palettes. See here, there is 2 to 4, 6, 8, 10 color palettes available right now. Okay, now you can see change it by sequential color palettes. How you will do that? See here, this one is actually qualitative color palettes. Now I am going to show you sequential color palettes. What it will do? It will actually create a sequence of color palettes of a particular color. All right. So what you have to do? Just copy this code and paste it here, and just you have to change sb dot color palette and then put it here greens. All right, greens. Okay, and in pal plot you have to use like sb dot color and underscore palette and put greens in the parenthesis. Okay, so I'm putting the greens in parenthesis. All right, so this one is our code, and when you will run plt.show, this will plot you the green color palette. You can change it here to red and you will get red color palettes. Okay, this one is showing you the error. What are the errors? That you can use this one thing. Sorry, I have used the wrong keyword, so this one is showing error. So for red you have to use reds, not red only. That's why I've got the error. So set here to reds. Okay. So when we will set it to reds, we will be getting color palettes like this. Okay. This one is actually the color palette in sequential manner. Now I'm going to show you color palette, diverging color palettes, means when you are using a gradient, how it actually works. Okay. So what you have to use? Just you have to change the thing. That one is here. Put green and then put here reds. Okay. And just put here comma 7. So it will generate the code here. I have used the wrong keywords again. I want the color palettes, this one BRBG. Let's see brown and green. So put the color palette as brown and green, and then you will get like this. You can change also the color values. Okay. So this is how you can change the diverging color palettes. Okay. Now I am going to show you the how to set the default color palette. You don't have to set actually nothing, but see here how to use. We have already used the thing in this graph. Now I am going to show you how to set the, we have already set the style. Now set the color palette. I am setting sb dot set palette, and I am passing here #1, and it will, what it's showing, we have to use this thing. So just use here green. I want it in reds, so put it here reds. So see, all the graphs has been plotted in red color. Okay. You can also put here 1 to 5, then you will be visualizing the things more clear. See here, this has been plotted in the form of red color. Okay. You can see there is 3 graphs which has been plotted here. Five graph, sorry, 4 graph, 1 2 3 4. There is 4 graph plotted in this format. Okay. You can do like this, and you can unvariate the distribution by using dist plot. So see what is the thing. Actually, distribution of data is the foremost thing that we need to understand while analyzing the data. Here we will see how Seaborn help us in understanding the univariate distribution of data, means how to display the univariate data. Dist plot provide the most convenient way to take a quick look at the univariate distribution, and here you can use the parameters like data, bins, hist, and KDE. So see here, if you are using data, then it will actually a series of 1D array or a list. Bins actually a specification of hist bins, and hist is actually a bool function, and KD is bool. So let's plot a histogram. Okay. So what we have to do, first create a data frame. So I'm going to create a data frame sb dot load dataset, and I'm calling out the dataset tips. Okay. Now put here sb dot dist plot, and put here df, and here petal length. This will actually set up the individual length, and then put it here kde. KD is nothing, the value in boolean value. So I am setting KD value to false. Okay. So see here, when we are going to use plt dot show, this will create the plot, and this one is displaying out error. And what is the error? Petal length is not defined. Okay, no problem. sorry, I have used the dataset tips and I am calling out the petal lengths, that why it has shown the error. So go through the dataset here and put here total bill, not the petal. I have actually taken the initiative from the other dataset. That one is called an iris. So I have got the error. So when you are going to do this, you will be getting the value like this. We have set the color palette to red. That's why we are getting the value like this. Okay. We can set the color palette here also and set it to green. So what we have to do? We have to just use the set color palette and just write it before the plt.show so that it can change your color style. So set here set underscore sb dot set palette. So write palette palette and just pass the color name. That one is red, greens. All right. So when you will do this, it will change the style to green color, and this one is displaying out the error by because I have used the wrong keyword. So choose the green color here and put the here the color style for green is not given, so use a yellow color. Okay, so use this one, yellow, green and red. So this will set a color pattern of yellow, green and red. So I am going to use this thing, and when we will be doing this, we will get the like this. All right, in this manner you can set the color palettes also. Okay, and see, this one is looking so cool, but when we have plotted the graph, means histogram in matplotlib, we have got not in this manner. All right, so this one is making your graph looking cool. All right, now I will be showing you how to use the kernel density estimate. Okay, so actually kernel density estimate KDE is a way to estimate the probability density function of a continuous random variable. All right, it is used for non-parametric analysis. Actually this one is a function of a statistic. You will be get better understanding if you have knowledge in a statistic. So let's see, I'm going to show you the actually I want to show you the graph pattern, how it gets changes. All right, so just you have to use df is equal to set sv dot load and underscore data sets data set and use here the data set iris. Okay, so I have loaded the data set, wait until it get loaded and then go for the further process. That one is sv dot dist plot and here pass the name petal length. I want the petal length column only, so I'm just passing petal length and then I want histogram as false. I don't want histogram here, so I'm setting it to false. So it will generate a graph of lines. Okay, so see here plt.show and it will just sketch out the outer graph. All right, see here, this one is the outer graph in this manner. All right, you can also set the colors by using set palette. Now fitting parametric distribution. Okay, so for that we have to just remove the thing, means I want all the things at one place. What I have said in dist plot, you can use the things that is data 1D series data, bins, histogram and KDE. We have seen the histogram here and KDE here. Now I want to remove the thing, that one is what? I want both the things at one graph. So just remove this thing. So automatically both the things will get true and you will get the value like this. If you want to see the difference, then just set the color palette to a different color. Okay. So what we have to use? Just here put sb dot set palette so that you can see the difference easily, and put it here reds. Okay. Again this one is showing error. So see here, this one has changed the color palettes to red. Okay. This one is not looking cool, so remove this thing and run the cell from the previous one so that it get in the yellow green color. This one is the best to visualize the things. You can set the color using the, now this one is showing error. And what's the error? That petal length is not defined because we have not called the iris dataset. See here, this one is our graph. Now plotting bivariate distribution means we are going to plot the things which has two or more things to display at a time. All right. Here we have seen the distributions of a single variable. That's why this one is called univariate. Now we are going to see bivariate functions. All right. So let's see. Now I'm going to show you a scatter plot because a scatter plot is a bivariate function. So let's see the scatter plot. I will not be covering up all the plots. Okay. So I'm just visualizing you all the things quickly. So write down the code easily. Okay. So I'm going to show you some bivariate plot one by one. So let's call the iris one, that which we have already called. Now use sb dot disjoint function. Disjoint, and then sorry, joint plot, not a disjoint. This will actually join up the two plots. Okay. And now I want x-axis as petal length. Petal length. You might be getting confused why I am using petal length. So just do one thing. Add here, toggle up the toolbar and add one more line below and just call here what? Data df, call here. So this one is our data set. Okay. So you can see here is the value of petal length. All right. So I'm plotting the graph for this thing. Okay. So I'm going to show you petal length, and now take by putting a comma, and for by I want petal width. All right. So I'm setting up petal width. Now I want all the data. So I am passing out the data frame. Okay. And now when I am going to use plt.show, this will display our graph. Okay. So see, this one is showing out the error. Actually, I have used the wrong keyword. At the place of joint plot, I have used the keyword joint plot. That's why it's displaying the error. So let's fix it out. Put a T here and then you will get the graph like this. See here, a histogram as well as a scatter plot has been plotted here. Alright, now I am going to show you Seaborn visualizing pairwise relations. Alright, so for that we will be using a function called pair plot. Okay, and the parameters for the pair plot will be data, hue. Hue will be actually the variable in data to map plot aspect to different colors, and the palette set of colors for mapping the hue variable, and another one parameter as kind, a scatter, reg, or hex, whatever the thing is, and then dag kind means which will kind of plot the diagonal subplot like hist or KDE. Okay, so let's see all the things. Okay, so I'm going to plot a pair plot. So first import all the library. So import pandas as PD, import numpy as np, and then import Seaborn as SV. Okay, these are the important library, and another one important is from matplotlib. Matplotlib, we are going to call out import pyplot. Import pyplot as PLT. Okay, so these are the things which we will require for the plotting a pair plot. Now sb dot set color, this will actually set the color for the, sorry, set did style, sorry, I'm setting out the color. That one is uh, not a keyword or a syntax in this thing, so set it to ticks. All right, I've set it out the style. Now I want to take a data frame, so I'm taking df is equal to, and I want sb dot load dataset, and I'm loading out the dataset called name as iris. Okay, the previous one. Now I am going to set the function for pair plot. So sb dot pair plot, and then pass all the parameters inside the, I have passed the data. Now hue is equal to species. There are some values. If you want to know the all the values, so you have to go to the documentation, and there you will find the values for this thing. Okay, so species as hue, and another parameter diagonal kind, and I am setting it to histogram. All right, so let's set first KD not as histogram, and now set the kind as scatter. Kind as scatter. So this will plot a scatter plot graph. Now I want palette, and palette is nothing but it will set the color. So I'm setting here HUSL. All right. So this is the thing, and now we want to plot this thing. So what we have to do? Just put here enter and write plt dot show. This will plot your graph. All right. So when you are going to run this cell, here it's displaying error, and it's actually for the color palette. I've used the wrong keyword. So actually the thing has been changed. So let's take summer. Okay, summer is coming. So let's take color palette as also summer. Put it here and run this cell, and you will be getting a plot here. So the cell is actually running till now. So wait for the result. All right. So see here. These are the plots of different columns of the data set. That one is what? We have used the iris data set, and this one is work as petal width, sepal length, petal width, and then petal width. Okay, so see all the graphs here represented in this format. All right, now I am going to show you how to plot a categorical data. Okay, so categorical scatter plots first. Let's see. So there is a function called a strip plot. It is used when one of the variable under study is categorical. Like if we will be plotting a bug in a COVID-19 dataset, and if we want to create a scatter plot of a particular region, means of India only, then we will be categorizing. First we categorize the data, and then we go for the strip plot. All right, a strip, as per name suggests, it actually creates a strip of lines, okay, in the form of that format. So let's see the graph first. Okay, so take a data frame, and um, let's use the previous data set. Okay, there's no need to call again and again the data set. A strip plot, and then use x is equal to a species. Okay, there is a column called a species in the data frame iris. Okay, and take by as equal to petal length. All right, and plot the graph for this thing and just pass the data, and data is what? The previous data frame. So I'm using this thing and now use this thing for plotting. That one is plt dot. So this will plot the graph for you. Now wait for the thing and now see, this is your graph. All right. This one is your strip plot. Okay. And now I want to show you some other things, and that one is like if you will be using petal length and this thing, then you will be getting value like this. Okay. Now there is a swarm plot, and that will show you how to plot a swarm plot. I'm just going to use the same thing and I'm just changing the name only. You have to just copy this thing and change the name. Okay, don't practice as I am showing. See here, this will make a pattern like this. Okay, so these are the patterns by which you can make your graphs look attractive. But in Matplotlib, what you have done, you have just plotted a scatter plot, and there you don't have any options available for you to look it, make it beautiful. Here the graph is same of the scatter plot, but see the look. The look is quite amazing. All right. Now seaborne distribution of observation. For this, we are going to use swarm plot, and I'm going to plot the box and whisker diagram. Okay. So for box and whisker diagram, what we have to use? We have to use the swarm plot for that, and box plot is a convenient way to visualize the distribution of data through their quartiles. Means actually this will give you the idea about how the curve is shifting in a particular box, like in percentage time. All right. So for that we use the box plot. Okay. And if you are going to use box plot, then see what will be the output. So let's see, this one is the our box plot, okay, of the same data. Now I am going to show you a violin plot for the same data. Just you have to use here violin, and actually this graph will be of the looks like as a violin. As the name suggests, this one is named after the look of the graph. See here, this one is looking like a violin. Okay, so in this format you can plot this thing, and you can also plot a statistical estimation like bar plot and other things. For that, just use the same data as here, and just you have to change here var, and you will be getting the value of, sorry, value not, you will be getting a bar plot. Okay, so this one is our bar plot. Okay, you can also use the count plot. Okay, so for that you have to just put here at the place of bar, you have to put the count thing. I am showing you all the things in the same data set, but try to copy and paste all the things. Okay, so we need only a single data in the count plot, so just remove the by thing, means by data frame, and just plot this graph, and you will be getting the count plot in this manner. Okay, now point class, sorry, point plot, this will actually point the plots. Okay, so here we will need the thing, that one is by, so put it here, spaces, and just control plus Z. Here we will need this thing, and set the hue is equal to class. Okay, I'm setting out the hue value also, so that you can visualize all the things clearly. So I'm setting hue is equal to class. Now when we are going to run this cell, this one is showing the error, that one is what, cannot pass values for both x and y. Why we not pass the value for x and y? Sorry, I have used here count plot, not the point plot, and I am plotting it for point plot. So again this one is showing the error, and what's the error? Could not interpret input class. Okay, so remove this thing, This one is showing out the error for the hue value. So set it like this and you will be getting the graph like this. This one is actually a point plot. Okay, you can also set the point value, hue value. Actually, I put it out the value for hue in a wrong format. That's why it's displayed the error. The new library has been updated with new values. So go through the documentation of Seaborn plot and then you will be getting all the things there. All right. You can also plot byte form of data just by using box plot. Okay. And you can set the box plot orientation to H. Let's see. I want to plot a box frame. Okay. So I'm passing out the data df, and just if you want to plot it in a horizontal manner, so you have to set orient is equal to H. Okay. So in this manner you can, sorry, I've used the point plot and set it to box plot. Then you will see the box plot in horizontal manner. Okay. See here. This one is our box plot. You can also set the value plot in the same manner. Okay. Now I am going to show you some factor plot. Okay. There is a thing called factor plot, and for that we will need some parameters which I am going to set here. So I am removing the box plot and renaming it to a factor plot. And see the beauty of factor plot. I am passing out the data and then I am setting out the value for x is equal to petal length and value for by is equal to petal width. Okay, petal width, and I am setting out the hue value is equal to kind. All right, and I hope kind is still in the library, but this one is showing out warning message. Why? Because could not interpret input hue. So remove out this hue. Actually, the value for hue has been changed. That's why I'm getting error all the time. So see here, this one is the factor plot. Okay, this one actually creates a plot and it draws a categorical plot on a factor grid, facet grid. Okay, there are two or more types of grid. So we will be discussing all the things uh, later, means afterwards. Now I am going to discuss the thing that one is facet grid. Actually, you don't have the knowledge about the facet grid, so you might get confused with the thing. Okay, actually factor plot works on the facet grid and it use kind parameter. We can choose the plot like box plot, violin plot, bar plot, and a strip plot also. Okay, and facet grid always use the point plot by default. Okay, so let's see the facet grid. What is facet grid? So let's understand first. Facet grid forms a matrix of panels. Okay, and actually panels was a data set, actually a data structure in pandas which has been removed from the library, and now this one is not available in the latest library. So actually that was a panel and it works on the panel variable, and it actually defined by row and column. It divides the variable by row as well as column. Due to panels, a single plot looks like multiple plots. This one is actually a single plot, but it will look like a multiple plot, and it has two parameters like x and y. So you can analyze on two data set, means two discrete variable. You can work for the facet grid. Okay, means if you want to analyze on two variables, like if you are analyzing on IPL dataset and you want to compare the batsman run of Shikhar Dhawan as well as Rohit Sharma, so what you have to use? You can use the facet grid for this thing. Okay, so whenever we need to analyze on two data frames, means two particular columns, then we go for the facet grid. Okay, so let's see how it actually works. We have already seen all the examples, so just see here, load a new data set. I'm loading a new data set exercise. So load sb.load and use dataset exercise. All right, and see first what are the columns available in this data frame. Okay, so these are the columns and rows available in this data frame. There are 90 rows and 6 columns. Okay, now I am setting the plot. So use sb dot factor plot. Okay, and put here x is equal to time and y is equal to pulse, and then set the hue is equal to kind. Actually, we were getting error because we were using the hue as kind and class, and there were not any column called hue and class in the iris dataset. That's why we have got the error. Here see, here the kind is available, so we will not get any error, and hue saturation will be made with the help of the column value kind. Okay, and now set the kind is equal to value. Actually, hue value is taken from the data frame columns, not the predefined data set. You can set the desaturation value from the data set. Okay, which is already in library. So set the column is equal to diet, and now pass the data, and we have the data is equal to df. So see here, this one is our violin plot. Okay, so see here, we have plotted the graph for diet, which has no fat, which has low fat, and this one is our time, and this one is our pulse axis, and you can see this color represent the rest, this color represent walking, and this color represent running. Actually see here, hue actually setted the different colors for the column called kind. This has worked on the column called kind. You can use hue here also, but you have to focus on the data set, that one is better. Here we have the species. So if you are going to use a species here, like where we have got the error in hue, so when you will set here hue is equal to a species, then you will get not any error, and you will be getting the desired outcomes. Okay, so see here, this one is showing out the could not interpret input petal length. Why? Okay, so we have used the data, and here this one is taking out the data from the below section. Okay, so set the graph first and put here df is equal to sb dot load data set, and then put it here iris. So if you will using this thing, then you will not get any error, because this one has used all the things. See here, you can see the color difference now. Okay, so these are the different colors as for Setosa value, this color, for this color versicolor, and this one is a virginica. Means in this manner you can set the hue value. All right, I hope you have understood the hue value. Okay, and now you can set the whole parameter as per your desire. Okay, so these are the things which we can use in the Seaborn. Okay, and this is the beauty of Seaborn, which on which you can work. You can also create pair grid with different colors. So I'm going to show you quickly. So load a new data set. So for that, what you have to use sb dot load data set, and then set the value like I am calling again the iris. Okay, we have set it out the data set. Now I am going to show you g is equal to sb dot pair plot. Now I'm going to pair grid. I'm going to show you the different grids. Now we have seen the facet grid. Now I'm going to show you the pair grid. Pair grid is nothing but it actually creates a pair, and in facet grid you will be getting two axes, x axis as well as y-axis. But in pair grid, you will be getting pairs of data, means you will get different plots. I am going to show you by the example. So see here, pair grid and pass here df. All right. Now g dot map. This will actually map the data from the data set, and it will, after mapping, it will plot a scatter plot. You can pass here bar plot also. Okay. So after that, write plt dot show, and this will creates the graph for you. As you have knowledge in matrix, then I hope you can understand this thing. See here, this one is actually the all the rows in x-axis. See, here is the four columns, four different columns, and here in the y-axis you can also see the four columns. Actually, this one is representing like in this manner. See here how it is creating the pair grid. If I say like in this fashion, first convert this cell into toolbar and set this to row, and we convert. Now I'm going to show you this thing. See here, if we have a matrix like in this format, column like A, B, C, D, okay, and we have rows like A, B, C, and D, okay, and if we have values, okay, see here, in A here 1, 2, 3, 4, all right, and here 5, and take here 6, and put enter not, and 7. In this manner you have filled out the values. So how this one is making a pair? It is taking the two columns, a row and a column, and this one is plotting a graph from this. Okay, so here it has taken the entity and set it out the columns, okay, and make up pairs of data, and then it has plotted the graph. But in facet grid you can see there is only x-axis and y-axis, but these are the parameters which are only we are passing to the graph. All right, so these are the difference for the facet grid as well as for the pair grid. In pair grid we consider for the pairs, and in facet grid we go for the all the data set and makes a pair, okay, random pairs. You can also set the diagonals, okay, like you can set here g dot map underscore diagonal, and you can set the diagonal and set it to histogram. You can set here histogram. So when you are going to run this cell, you will be getting a graph where all the diagonal elements will be a histogram and all other elements will be a scatter plot. Okay, so see here, all the diagonal elements are, see, all the diagonal elements are in are histogram, and all the other things is in, if you will place a semicolon here, then you will be getting not any scatter plot in between. Okay, so see here, this one is our graph, and I hope you have understood the thing which I am trying to say. If you have any doubt, you can just ask your doubts. Okay, now I am going to show you some other things, means some techniques to use in data analysis. The last module, which this one is actually a last module for our this training. Now we have two sessions for practicing. That one is one on the practice on IPL dataset, and another one on practice on the COVID-19 dataset. Okay, today I'm going to give you all the dataset in your classroom, and you just have to go through all the things and see if you can practice on those datasets. Just have a look on those datasets so that you can make yourself comfortable with the data, and then we will go for the further analysis thing. Okay, so there are 5 different steps for the data analysis. I have already discussed this thing, but I am repeating it again. Okay, the first one is collecting data, means you have to collect the data for the data analysis. Either it may be a source of survey or you may collect it from Google. All right. So you can find out the data. After finding out the data, you have to make some goals. Means what you want to extract from that data. Making goals. All right. After making goals, what you want to get out from that data, and then it goes for the data analysis thing. That one is you have to make the plans and then load the data. Load the data means you have to set up an environment for the data analysis purpose. Means like you have to load the data in the Jupyter notebook, because most of the time, means almost 95% or of users are using Jupyter notebook for the data analysis. All right. So load the data in Jupyter notebook, then run your code with the help of different libraries. All right. Run your code and practice yourself, and then frame up. Frame up in the sense, frame up your goals. Means whatever the goals you have made, if you got success in getting out those data, then make a frame and actually create a new and fresh Jupyter notebook and store it to a new place. All right. And then submit or launch your project. All right. Now you can launch your project. Okay. So the thing is how to load data. So for loading data, we will use pandas. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to load data with the help of pandas. I have a data set stored in a particular folder called data in the desktop section. So we have to go through the thing and go to the data. So you have to store the Jupyter notebook file and the data in a same folder. Okay. So now I'm going to create a new Python file. So I'm creating a new Python file, taking a new Python file to show you how to load the data. Now import pandas as PD. This one is the library which will help you to work on the data set. Okay. So you have to do just df is equal to load, sorry, you have to use pd dot load or read CSV. All right, read CSV and pass the name. Okay, see, I have CSV files name, having name. See, COVID-19 all CSV, and you can also see here we have deliveries.csv. So I'm going to load deliveries.csv, deliveries.csv. So when we will run this cell, this one is showing out the error because I must made the common, yeah, does not exist. All right. So just correct out the name. See here, the name is Deliveries. Deliveries. See, now names matches. So when you are going to run this cell, you will get not any error. And when you will see the star marks has been converted to a number, then your data has been loaded. Now you can see the data here. Here, this one is our data written in the CSV format. All right. Now you can work on the data set. So like you can check out what are the heads. So this will give you the 5 rows. All right, top 5 rows, and then if you will use tail, then it will give you the value of the last 5 rows. All right, you can see, and see here NaN is the value which is not available in the that row, particular row, but we will be working on this data set. So this is all about how to go for the analysis. All right, we set the goals, like if we are working on IPL dataset and if we want how many runs Rohit Sharma has scored, all right, in IPL, or let's see how many times Mumbai Indians has won the toss, or how many times Mumbai Indians has won the toss as well as win that match. Means whenever we want the thing like Mumbai Indians has won the toss as well as won the match. Okay, so these are the important things which we will be discussing in the IPL dataset practice session. Okay, there will be a lot of interesting things which you will get to know and you will be able to analyze by yourself. And if you are a fan of IPL, then I'm damn sure you are going to like this session. So don't miss the things and go through all the things which I have taught you until now, because all these things we are going to use in the next two session. Tomorrow will be a break. Let's take a break and just finish all the things which you have left, and then we will go for the IPL data analysis, and just after that we will be working on the latest issue of our country, of our world, that one is COVID-19. There we will be finding out the pattern of COVID-19, how COVID-19 is getting increased, in which area it's increasing faster, increasing rate, as well as the number, how it is affecting the different sides of our country, how it's affecting the different parts of our world, how it's spreading. We will consider over all those data. All right. So that's all for today. I'm ending the lecture now. So thank you. See you all in the practice session.